Good morning, Facebook and YouTube. Good morning. Happy Memorial Day. It takes on a whole new meaning in this 2021. Happy Memorial Day. Remember when I told y'all that I'll be getting some dentistry done and I'm gonna some teeth removed and I'm gonna have to start wearing this mask that fogs up. Great risings on this Memorial Day. Let's get this party started. Did y'all just see our body in action heal itself? I need to slow down. That's how I come downstairs. I really come downstairs racing. And I notice when I get on the treadmill, I be racing too. Happy Memorial Day for all the folks in the service, in the advocacy service, who gave their lives so I could have freedom that sadly maybe future generations won't see. I can go from a blue state to a red state to a blue state to a red state. But sadly, for y'all, in the future, and these folks gave their lives so I could do that. So on this Memorial Day, I'm very grateful. Very grateful. Oh, I tell you. So, I'm just going to do this for 5 minutes. And then I'll take it off. And then, no, 10 minutes. And then I'll take it off. Because, I guess I don't have to cover my nose. I'm not using it for COVID. I'm using it to cover my mouth. Which is different. But you know, your glasses still fog up. I gotta tell you, I'm looking awful dark on YouTube. I look like a little dark spot on my YouTube camera. Let me see if I can need to lighten me up some. Okay, that could be too light, but better light than dark, and of course it went back. So what can I say? It could be the dark colors. Wow. I wanted to tell you all a story. Two things. One, this one don't go together. Gum and mask. They don't go together. Oil and vinegar. Oil and vinegar. Oil and vinegar. So, when I was working with the Coalition for Justice, I went over to the president's house, and her mother was there, the president's mother was there. And this is in Greenwich, Connecticut. And the mother was asking me about my daughter and what school she went to and what she did. And then the mother said, "You better be careful." I said, "Careful?" She said, "Yeah, you better be careful." So, she proceeded to tell me the story about this little African American boy that lived in the housing place that she lived. He had gotten a scholarship because Greenwich has tons of private schools. So he got a scholarship to go to one of the private schools in town, which are many. And he started hanging out with the kids, the rich kids. They would be coming and going. They'd pick him up from the housing complex. He would have on his white tennis outfit with them. They would go play tennis. They would come pick him up. She would watch them go back and forth. We had 5 minutes this fast walk. I better talk faster. So then, one day, she see them rush in. They all in their whites, so they came from playing tennis. This little black boy and all, the white kids from the private school. And she see them all go back out. She didn't know where they was going. And then, sometime way later, she seen all the white people, like the white kids, going into the house. But not the little black boy. He wasn't with them. So later on she found out that when they all went out on that boat, somehow the little black boy fell off the boat. So they never found his body. Seeing he was the only black person on the boat. Everybody said he fell off, he fell off. So I'm listening to her telling me this story. I don't know why she's telling me this story. When we went out on the town boat. That's the only boat we did. So, her moral of the story was, this is what I thought her moral is, the reason why she was telling me this. She says, don't ever be the only black one on the boat. Make sure there's like 3 or 4 other African Americans or people of color or Africans on the boat, which is brown. She said, don't be by yourself. There's a good chance you're not going to come back. So I just thought it was the rantings. She was Jamaican, of an old Jamaican woman. But I didn't forget it. I went home. I told my living at that time. And I told my daughter. So now, like a year and a half goes by. I'm laying in bed sleeping, and I get this phone call. About 1 o'clock in the morning. And I answered, hello. The old phone. And it's my daughter's voice. And she said, Mommy, can I go on a boat with my friends? Talk about wake up. I said, you got 15 minutes to get your ass in this house. She was getting ready to leave to go to college in another month. I said, first I asked her, where was she? So where she was. I said, you got 15 minutes to get your ass. And she said, oh, okay. We hang up. And I turned to my living and I said, oh my God, unless he wants to go on a boat. So he jumps up. It reminds us of, like, we jumping up trying to find our clothes, bumping into each other, getting tangled up in the sheets. We was trying to get ready to go get her. Because she didn't have a car. Just in case someone said, no, we're not driving you back. You're over there driving back. So then, finally, my living says, you did say 15 minutes. Give her a chance to get home. He said that after we was already dressed. So I sat and looked out the window. And I see these cars coming. First I saw like one car, because it's 1 o'clock in the morning. It's a small town, trust me. Then it wasn't a lot of traffic. And I look down and I see these lights, but it's like a convoy. So I'm like, what are all these cars? And then they turn up the block to park in the back of our building. And I kind of knew it was them. So finally I hear the footsteps run upstairs. And she got in the house. And I thank her for coming home. And we took a big breath, and I was like, dang. I already told you about that story that Jamaican lady told us. You know you weren't supposed to be on no boat 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what all y'all was doing. So she said, Mommy, like, calm down. She said, they was talking about going out on this guy's boat. But nobody really wanted to go, but too scared to say it. So they said, I knew what reaction you would have if I called and told you about a boat. She said, and when she called me, she got the reaction. And she turned to them and she said, after she hung up for me, she turned to the boat party goers and said, no, I can't go on the boat. My mother said I have to get home. She said all of a sudden everybody wanted to drive her home. Everybody wanted to drive her home. That's why all the cars was coming. See, because nobody wanted to say they didn't want to go on a boat because, first of all, they was probably drinking. But they didn't want to say that because they didn't want to be the chicken. But they know me. And they know I was coming down there kicking ass and taking numbers, honey. So, they was just laughing. She said, Mommy, everybody left. And that's why there was a convoy driving her home. So nobody could say they chickened out of going on a boat. They all can say they had to make sure Leslie got home safely. So, you see how stuff like that, like, when that Jamaican woman was telling me that, in my mind, I was like, are you bleeding kidding me? Really? She was telling me the story and I was like, lady, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Like I said, the only boat we go on is a town boat around the Statue of Liberty. Oh, I didn't take this off. I did a little overtime. Whew. I can do it though. I'm 10 minutes today, 15 minutes tomorrow. Get myself ready for, hey, thanks for the love. Get myself ready for the extraction. So, you see how that worked? So then, I mean, if you go to Neighbors TV chess song, you'll see one of my bestest friends, Miriam Kashka. And Miriam told me this story with her daughter. And how her daughter, the oldest daughter, beautiful, Linda, beautiful woman, beautiful. I never saw Bob, but he was a handsome, handsome man. Because his oldest is beautiful. And he had a younger daughter. And somehow, the family didn't mesh as the kids got older, as that happens. Oh, we almost coming up to 15 minutes. So I may have to finish this story on the second half. about walk, take a break. Hey, is that Joan? Happy Memorial Day. Thanks for giving your lives for us for it. Danger's real or imaginary. Sad about the imaginary stuff, which is a lot. But here we go. Hey, yes indeed, yes indeed. Let me do this. Don't. Okay, you see how? Here we go. We just lost light. We've lost light. Okay. Of course, you guys keep walking. This really shouldn't interfere with you too much. It's just a too long an extension cord. That's the whole rigmarole. The extension cord is too long. It won't stay up in the window. And I'm back. First part of this walk is brought to you by I Like to Say Yes. Keep the word yes in your child's vocabulary by reading I Like to Say Yes to your child. Yes, yes, yes. I like to say yes. That yes will carry you a long way from preschool to high school. Let me get my water. Hey, morning, Joe. Morning, Diane. Great risings. I'm trying to tell you something. If I can get back to that story. Great risings is putting very great risings in my life. I want to tell you. And my alkaline water. Let's see, I'm not walking fast today either. I am not walking fast today. Let me put it back a little bit so you guys can see me. We got another 15 minutes to go. I can possibly finish the story with you. And everything is hunky-dory. So, what I miss Miriam so much. We were neighbors, thick as thieves. Thick as thieves. Anyway, I never liked the way Miriam used to tell me how Bob, her husband, used to speak to her. You know, he was one of those husbands to say, "Oh boy, if you had brains, you'd really be something." You know, ha ha ha. Or you live in a bubble. You can't see anything for what it is. She was so smart. She was so smart, so strong, so determined. Just a really good person. I miss her. Anyway, when Bob was dying, Bob had it in for his youngest daughter who left Jersey and came to Connecticut. I think that's how the story went. And then somehow the family all wound up coming to Connecticut, and I became Miriam's neighbor when I moved back to Connecticut. And when Bob was dying, the daughter would go to the hospital to see him, and he would be nasty to her. Then he wrote this letter that has taught me that I don't open those kind of letters, and has stopped me from mailing those type of letters. No good, worthless child, with his dying breath. So, of course, the youngest daughter was hurt. I come to see you, you make me feel like crap. Then I come and you give me this letter, and then you die. So I'm listening to Miriam, and I am feeling that pain from that daughter. I'm like, course, it made a situation for everybody. So even though it was just the three of them, the two girls and the mother left, the dad had done so much division, basically because everybody was stupid and he was smart. Very chauvinistic man, you know. The one that say women shouldn't drive, and then they have a heart attack at home and die because the wife can't drive them to the hospital, or ambulance can't get there, or they do something. Maybe not a heart attack, they get sick, and they ain't got nobody driving the hospital or to the clinics because women are too stupid to drive. Yes, I was around when that myth was out. So, because we used to walk. Me and Miriam, we walked every morning. Because I had the dog. And we did like half hour, 45 minutes. So, and sometimes this was after me coming from the gym. Because I would go to the gym at 5 something in the morning with Johanna and then come back, get the dog and walk with Miriam. And then I had like an afternoon job. So, I listened, and for, it hurt her because she loved her daughters. But they were in a situation where he ruled the roost, and to him they was all stupid. Ergo. And I would listen to Miriam she tried a few times, but there's nothing you can do when that happens. I've experienced it myself. When the male in the house is so dominating, and any females in the house, he can't wait to tell them how dumb and stupid they are, liars, all blah, 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 blah. But I was thinking, why is Miriam telling me this? But it has to be a reason, because the old Jamaican lady told me about that boat thing, and though we weren't rich, and I couldn't see where they would get a boat to go on, none of her friends were boat wealthy. They were car wealthy, but not boat wealthy. Hey, we had 20 minutes. This little walk is almost over. So, I found out my aunt was dying. When I tell you that woman hated me, I'm telling you, when I post about races, I always have to say the first racist I ever met was my aunt. She couldn't stand me because my skin was dark. I mean, that woman, whew, couldn't stand me. But if I could give her money or, as an adult, she still couldn't stand me, but she could watch my child because I'd give her money. But she ain't take care of her well. I had to pay her and bring groceries over. Well, that's another story. So, I get through the grapevine that she is dying from cancer. I think she's about 78, 79. No, she got breast cancer. So, then, they cut all over her. I don't know what a 79-year-old needs a breast for. And if that's what disease that's going to take you out of here, that's just a disease that's going to take you out of here. But anyway, I heard you say, I wasn't going to see her. That woman ain't never like me. Whew. I was not going to get my feelings hurt. Y'all know. Ain't never said a good thing about me and the family. Even the family. Listen, I got nieces and nephews that think I'm their mother's friend. So, I didn't go. And then she died. I didn't go. Because she raised the family to, that's their attitude. It wasn't going to be a punching ball. Not doing it. And I have been happy all the live long day. And that was Miriam. So, I have a sperm donor that ain't never said nothing good about me in his whole life. and he donated the sperm. And he passed away. I ain't messing with them peoples. I ain't messing with them peoples. That man ain't never had nothing good to say about me. I had just found out 2 years ago that he lied and told everybody. One night everybody looked at me like sideways and telling everybody I went to Howard University. I didn't go to Howard University. I went to Knoxville College, but you ain't never sent me a dime. You ain't never wrote me a letter. I ain't never get a phone call. But I'm finding out that all these made up things never gave me a dime as an adult. When I was in college, he paid for my bus ticket. As a single parent, nothing. But I never asked them for it. They didn't want anything. Listen, I ain't going to take money for you so you can put your foot in my ear. I ain't doing it. Not doing it. So, no. And he passed. And I have been so happy. And I've been thinking about Miriam and saying, thank you, Miriam. I don't put myself in situations where I know I'm going to be the villain. I'm going to be the kicking bag or anything else. Because it has been like that the whole way through. It doesn't change because the person is dead. The treatment by the other people is still the same. Totally disrespectful. I'm the bastard child. Sperm donor gun. Let his family, he has a whole family with his wife, my stepmother, what I love and miss every day since the day she died. And it has been well over 20 years. And every day I miss that woman. She called me 2 or 3 times a week to see how I was doing. She didn't give me no money, but she said, oh, I went to the flea market. She always going to that flea market, like the bargain places. And I saw these pants. I saw these pants. Why don't you come over and see if these pants fit you? But she wouldn't give me a dime. But she'll do that. She'll say, oh, I went and I found something. I found these pants, this little dress for Dave. Why don't you come over and get them? That's how she did. He ain't do shit. But, honey, if I said, hi, what's wrong with you? You come in, you sitting there, and this is the whole conversation. So I said, well, adios. So, I can't tell you how freeing it is. And I can't tell you how wonderful it is walking on this treadmill this morning. And the fact that I'm here and I'm doing well and I'm loving me. And let's check on our protons, neutrons, and electrons. Y'all see? Can you 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 see? Everything's firing. Everything's firing. Yeah. Did that help, Diane? Did that help? Just doing some hand stuff. I hold my phone too. I hold my phone too. They used to laugh at me at Planet Fitness when I was on the treadmill, because this is what I would do with my hands, because they have to be exercised too. Everybody went, oh, I got these fat knobby things. And That's all you gotta do. Even if you sit down and look at TV, you can do this. While you're watching TV, you can do that. These are all exercises, you know. You walk with me, but you can sit there and do this. Hey! And then we have the weights. So, I'm so proud of me. Yep. I was a single parent that made it out there. I got by with a little help from my friends. Just like I'm doing now. Ready? Let's do 10. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When people don't like you and they get sick and close to death, leave them alone. You go, oh, I'm going to go say goodbye, see them for the last time. They're going to hurt your feelings. And you can't say nothing because they're going to be dead. Check yourself. Well, we've completed our 5th month of walking. Yay! We're going into our 6th month of walking. Half hour every morning. I'm walking. Yes, indeed, I'm walking. Oh, so happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. Yes, indeed, I'm walking. Oh, so happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. I love y'all. Happy Memorial Day. Thanks for giving your life for the country against threats, real or imaginary. Yes, indeed, y'all. Our walk is done, this little quick walk. YouTube, thank you. See you tomorrow.